Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So tonight I'm just going to try something a wee bit different. I'm going to try and get a sunset shot. However, I've come to a local loch and there's very little clouds in the sky, but hopefully we can make something of it. Can't imagine there'll be too many images tonight because I'm just here to try and get an image. But what I'll try and do is I'll take a shot before sunset, a shot during sunset, and then a shot after sunset, and then we can compare the difference in the images. Right, I'll keep cracking and I'll catch back with you soon. So we've reached the edge of the loch. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around and hopefully you can see the loch as I'm walking. So that bit there, over there, that old gate, it's obviously swollen because of the storms that we've had recently. I'll try and use that as a leading line and a focal point of interest to shoot in, because it's just an expanse of water. But I'm conscious the sun's right in my face, so we need to find an area to try and make sure the sun doesn't get too strong in the lens, and also sometimes too much sun causes lens flare, so we need to try and avoid that. I'll just navigate my way through the puddles here, and yeah, it's pretty well submerged. So we'll get set up and I'll walk you through what I'm looking for. Alright, so I've been looking at the other side of that fence over there, just there, and I can't quite get a composition because what it does is it takes me that side of the loch and there's not a really huge amount of interest, whereas when I walked around this side, what I've got is all these reeds, but there's a couple of rocks here, and then we've got the end of the fence there. And if I can shoot that direction, I've got a kind of S shape along, and that might make a better composition than just following the fence into the water. So the water's got quite a bit of movement, so I might do a slow shutter speed and slow the water down. So I'm going to do a couple of test shots, get the camera set up, because I'm really trying to make sure I avoid all the lens flare for the sun. So I'll catch up once I've got my composition complete. I really am restricted with space here, because I've got myself right at the edge of the loch with the reeds sitting here, and I'm trying not to get the sun into the picture, but I'm actually getting quite a lot of lens flare on the right hand side. I'm trying to figure out what's the best position to put my hand so that I'm not getting a lens flare. Right, so I'm going to have to make a choice. I either do this and then remove the lens flare in post-processing, or just try and figure out that sweet spot where my hand has to be to remove it. Right, so my composition is, I've got a 1/4 of a second f11 ISO 100. I've got the shot in front of me where I've got the reeds on my left, I've got a rock. Right, so I've got these reeds on my left hand side, I've got this rock, I've then got the fence coming into the loch, and then I've got the horizon in the background. So I've got some space in front of me here. I might tilt the camera up just a bit so we've got a wee bit more sky, and in that way compositionally we've got the sky. Again, I'm just trying my best to make sure that the sun is not in the way. Right, so I'll keep taking a couple of test shots. Soon I'll take my shot before sunrise, and then I'll catch back with you once we're ready. Right, I found a compromise. I've been playing a bit for ages. So effectively what I've done is I've increased my shutter speed to a second just to smoothen down the water a little bit. I'm still at f11 and I've reduced my ISO to 50. But the big change is I've got my ND grad filter and I've tilted it so that I'm not getting too much glare from the sun coming from the top right hand side, and that's given me a really nice balance of light from front to back, and I'm getting a nice bluey yellow glow in the horizon. So I'm happy with that. I've got my pre-sunrise shot, and as people would probably call this, the golden hour. And just as the sun starts to go down, I'll take another shot. And then what I'm expecting, there's one or two clouds, but as the sun goes over the horizon, I'm expecting it to light up the clouds. There's not very many, but there's a few in front of me. And then once that disappears, then we move into what we call blue hour. So it'll be interesting to see how the images differ between pre-sunset and blue hour. But anyway, I'll keep my battery, I'll preserve my batteries, and I'll catch back when we're ready to take a sunset shot. Alright, so I've tried to do too many things at once here. I'm getting the sunset and it's actually setting right in front of me. So what I need to do now is just brighten up the scene a little bit and increase the shutter speed to 1.6 of a second. I'm just going to bring the drone over. So that's me got my sunrise shot, my sunset shot, and I'll share that sunset shot with you just now. Alright, so sunset's away and we're now into what we call blue hour. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a shot, I'm just adjusting my settings because I'm keeping it the same composition, but what I'm trying to do is just adjust my exposure so that I can brighten up the foreground a bit whilst I've got the horizon in the background. Right, I'm just going to go back through and check my photos. So I have a blue hour, I have a sunset, and I have a pre-sunset image. Right, so we've got what we want. Right, let me just turn this round and see if we can zoom in to the sunset. I'll try and get some reeds in the foreground just to give us a wee bit of interest. Let me just focus in on the horizon. And now the water's going really, really still, whereas before I needed that long shutter speed to reduce the water. So if I just speed this up a wee bit more. So what we've got is a pre-sunset, a sunset, a post-sunset, because we're now in blue hour. I'll share those three images, and if you want you could share in the comments which image you prefer. So before I end the video, just to let you know, I've actually created a photographic location guide for Glencoe. So I've put in 11 locations, and what I've done is I've identified every location by the what three words. and if you download the What 3 Words app, you type in the 3 words and it gives you the exact location of the area that you want to be. So I've put in what 3 words for the lay-bys or parking areas close by, and I've put in what 3 words of the subject that you might want to photograph or photograph from. So there's 11 locations. I've added in 4 areas where if you want to have a meal or use the toilets, I've put in that type of information. So hopefully you like it. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description, and if you want to download it, that would be fantastic. And if you do, thanks very much for supporting the channel. But I think I'll end the video here. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that will let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.